Go for it.
Welcome to Gamers 2 Cents, where we're the gaming bros, not the gaming pros. You get it? You got it?
I'm a gamer, and I'm a bro. Bruh.
He's tired. As you can see, Comrade's tired. And Half is going to fall asleep, too. So, first thing we're going to talk about is Capcom removes Enigma DRM from Resident Evil 4 Remake after performance complaints, which would lag on the Steam Deck, have CPU strain, and even lag on Linux. Interesting. And broken mods. So there was a lot of backlash. So Capcom decided to remove it. They did have Denuvo as DRM. That's also infamous for taking performance hits on like Monster Hunter Wilds, Dragon's Dogma. I know Half doesn't understand that, but anyways, for now, Resident Evil 4 is currently without any DRM. You guys got anything to say about this?
It's always a good thing when they remove DRM. DRM sucks.
Well, there is DRM on Steam, so don't forget
DRM
that.
sucks. Everyone should remove DRM from their games.
I mean, DRM is in everything, though. Even old games have DRM because you remember the code that you have on the disc and the pamphlet in the back.
The licensing code, yeah.
As a form of DRM.
Yeah. And it sucks. It should be removed from all games.
But yeah, Half, you got anything to say before we move on?
What's DRM mean?
How the fuck should I know?
I would hope you would know if you're bringing up an article that talks about.
Here you go. Happy I'm typing it. Oh, digital rights management.
Nice. Now we're podcasting.
It's literally a form of licensing. Is essentially what it is. It's essentially prevent pirating of games.
It's just protection. That's what I think. I never remember the name.
However, the problem with modern DRMs is because they put it on literally everything.
No, that's not what's wrong.
And the way that no, because they put it on literally all games, it takes performance down hits. A lot of the performance hits, yeah, because it has to be running in the background at all times, essentially, to prevent people from trying to pirate games.
What's stupid is that it always checks if your copy's legit on a single player game. I can understand multiplayer, but because there are other countries that, they don't have money like that, so, they get illegal ones that has no DRM.
So this sounds like a good thing overall.
Actually, I met somebody, a gamer, who had Spider-Man 2 with no crack. It was cracked, and it runs well. I was like, oh, cool. All right. Anyways, moving on. Next. Stellar Blade.
Yay.
Dev may cut Sony's support and self-publish the sequel. It's on Push Square, but it comes from... This is according to Korean outlet Game Mecca, as translated by Automaton, with a fresh job listing for the developer promising a new leap forward in global market. Continues, we aim to expand our self-publishing capabilities to support internally developed titles across consoles and PC. I think this is pretty much simple. They want to self-publish it, be in control of their destiny, basically. And I think that's fine, because I think companies should strive to do that, unless they want to be close to a publisher, because Stellar Blade is technically a second-party game, because Sony put a lot of money into it, obviously. Well, I'm pretty sure they funded some of it. I don't know. Check me on that one, but they did publish it. So yeah, nothing simple, very simple. What do you think, Comrade?
Yeah, I think the company that published it, Shift Up, if I remember correctly, and you're welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, Stellar Blade is not owned by Sony. It's owned still by Shift Up. Sony only published it. So, I mean, if the company, so Shift Up owns the IP for Stellar Blade, if they think that Sony helped them publish the first game, and now they think that they're big enough and competent enough to self-publish or publish with someone else. Then I think that's probably a good thing for them. Basically strengthens their company, strengthens their ties with other platforms. I think that's a good thing for them. So
Yeah, sounds
good
like
for them.
overall good news. Good news overall. Cutting out any middleman, I think, is always a good thing for the most part. I don't know, not much else to say on this topic. What's next?
Not much else. Next would be Surfshark. You got pulled up in front of you. Is it Surfshark? Jesus, that's right. I gotta pull this up. Yes, Surfshark claims they probably have statistics either on their search engine or something like that, but it's showing searches for cheats. As you can see, Call of Duty, obviously, #1. So these are searches, okay? This is people always searching for cheats. I'm going to repeat that again. Rocket League, okay, I'm surprised about that one. But that is a hard game. That is a hard game, so that's why they keep searching for cheats. Here comes Half. It's not that hard. Yes, it is. Rainbow Six Siege. Rivals, that's not a hard game, but that's popping off in Twitch, so people watch it, so you want to get famous. What's the other one? Comrade, what's that icon underneath Rivals and in between Apex and Rivals?
PUBG.
Is that what that is?
That's PUBG.
Oh, thank you.
Battlegrounds.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't know that. So yeah, you got that. Apex, Dead by Daylight. It's under Apex, Fortnite, Arc Raiders, Counter-Strike, Valorant only. What's that? What is that red icon? Comrade?
That's Dota 2.
That's what?
Dota 2. Dota.
Okay, and that's interesting. Valorant. Valorant obviously has a very strong anti-cheat, Battlefield, and so on and so forth. So yeah. What do you think of the searches, Comrade?
It explains a lot why there's so many people complaining about cheaters in Call of Duty. It's apparently people complain about cheaters in Call of Duty because there are apparently a shit ton of cheaters in Call of Duty.
This is not cheaters. This is just searches. Remember that. People looking.
Yes, but it correlates to what he's saying.
But correlation. If people are searching for cheaters or cheats, there's probably people that found some. If this is averaging only 0.3 per 1,000 players, so average monthly cheated searches per 1,000 players, 66 of those are Call of Duty per month. I feel like that's by correlation. That's at least half of those people are probably cheaters. So at least 30 cheaters and new cheaters in Call of Duty a month.
That sucks.
Yeah, that blows.
Yeah, cheating
But
is never.
that also means that Sob's two favorite games are Rocket League and Rainbow Six Siege are riddled with cheaters.
Man,
Shit.
I already knew Rainbow Six is riddled with cheat. That's one of the biggest things. That's why I can tell when I play it. I can tell their movement. But yeah, Rocket League, I don't know. I feel like even if you cheat, right? From what it seems like,
Here it comes.
in Rocket, the community, okay? Because Half doesn't know this. A lot of players know people cheat, and I'm not used to looking out for it because usually your skill can be very good enough to overcome that and that type of game.
That's right. Rocket League is the only game that requires actual genuine skill, and no other game comes anywhere close to Rocket League, because even if you cheat, you can't possibly be good at Rocket League, because Rocket League is the greatest game of all time and Sob's favorite game of all time, and no other game can ever come close to the amount of skill and precision you need to hit a ball with a car.
It's not that. It's just the calculations in your head when you play. You can tell after you play after a while. You can tell where the ball is gonna go at least, and you can understand where to block and stuff. So
It's not just that, comrade. The cars, wait, here it comes. They have jetpacks. And they
fuck
can
y'all.
fly.
Fuck y'all. Anyways,
So you got to remember that each car is a different shape. So technically, the angles and trajectory of the
correct.
of the ball,
Correct.
you have to do calculus in your head before every single shot. All right,
Correct.
you just understand. This game is like the equivalent of Rick and Morty to movie-wise to people. All right, you just don't understand its complexity.
All right. Anyways, actually, Activision. They say Activision had a response, and their response is cheating is an industry-wide issue and a challenge we take on around the clock. When this was posted by Surfshark. So yeah.
So how does it feel
Fuck
playing
yeah.
a game that you think takes full of skill but is riddled with a bunch of cheaters?
Okay. You can have more of a chance than shooting games because they can see through walls and stuff. And
Yeah, you don't gotta feel no type of way. Tekken 8 is full of cheaters too.
that's correct.
That game is fucked. It's probably worse than Rocket League.
Yeah, but
Marvel
you have a
Rivals
chance.
is
You have
also
a chance.
full of cheaters. Marvel Rivals, my favorite game, is also full of cheaters. Apparently,
Shut your ass up. Bam, yo. Anyways, we're moving on to Onimusha, Way of the Sword. This game, it was
looks
shown
sick
during.
as fuck.
Yes, it was shown off during the Capcom Spotlight. What is it? When the fuck does it get shown off? I'm
During the
sorry.
Capcom Spotlight.
March 5th. That's right. And the game is set in 17th century Edo period, Kyoto. The protagonist's name is Miyamoto Musashi and has a rival named Sasaki Ganryu. Ooh, I don't know if I killed that one.
Great job.
And
Great
he
job.
has a gauntlet on his arm named Oni. The gameplay has Isin. I think Half knows that already. You can parry, deflect attacks, absorb souls with the Oni gauntlet. Jesus, and you recover health. And in the trailer itself, it says "ready powerful abilities," which I'm gonna assume it charges powerful abilities when you absorb. Cause that sounded weird when I heard it in the trailer. But yeah, this game looks awesome. I've never played Onimusha. Okay, always want to play it. I have the game on PS2. Never played it. Bought it. I'm pretty sure I bought it late or after I was done with the PS2 and never went back for a while. So I've never in my entire life played. I've always am interested in playing this. So this may be the first one, and that means I'm gonna play the older ones if I played the new one. Usually that's how it goes with me. Yeah, the one who's most excited in our group about this is Half. He's a little skeptical because he thinks that it's gonna become Dark Souls like. But it doesn't look like that through the gameplay. So yeah, I'm quite excited. Capcom's been hitting it. I'm gonna say it like I told Comrade. I think Capcom is the best third-party company out there right now. They're eating real good. Even though they do have troubles with their Monster Hunter, PC troubles and shit, I still think, personally to me, they are the third best, and I hope they keep hitting it. Half, what do you think about this?
I think it looks cool. I'll be picking this up when the price drops.
Shut the fuck up! Okay.
And the only reason is because I will admittedly say I am stuck in the past, and I like Onimusha when it had the fixed camera angles a lot more than the camera constantly following behind him. But it looks like a fun game. I still can't tell if it's Dark Souls like or not. It doesn't look like it, but I can't tell until I actually get my hands on it.
It does not look
it.
like Dark Souls.
It looks a lot more like action combat to me rather than Dark Souls combat to me.
That's what I'm hoping. So, I mean, overall, it looks good. So, that's all I have to say about that.
I will probably also pick this up when it goes on sale.
Have you played the series?
I played the demo of 2 on Steam,
That's a good one.
but that's about it.
That's it. No comments on the demo. No comments on the demo.
The demo is very fun. It was a good time. Like I said, it did get me into the series. So I mean, considering buying, like I said, 1 and 2 to play through it, it's drawn me in.
That's a jarring effect though, because like Half said, it was Resident Evil style, right?
Exactly, it's the fixed camera angles and everything for the hack and slash kind of style. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of older games did that. Like even Zelda did that back in the day. You know, that's just got to get used to it. Ninja Gaiden did that as well.
So we'll see. This gets me excited. We need more samurai games. Doesn't have to be like Ghost. It can be its own thing. So I'm very happy, and I hope it's difficult, like he said, in its own way. Not where, wait, wasn't it like Dark Souls? Oh man, I'd be pissed. I was the same way we have. I'd be pissed if they went Dark Souls. Like, please. But yeah, moving on.
Yay, moving on.
Moving on.
This is one of the biggest news that happened. HighGuard, Comrade. He's so happy. He's so happy for somebody's downfall. I love it. We expose himself. We expose himself. We expose him for fucking want people to go down. Says here, HighGuard's finally.
That the game is gone. I'm not happy that the game is done. I enjoyed playing the game. I'm happy that I was right because you didn't think the game would die, and I was right that it would.
I said that. I said the game would die. Don't lie. Don't lie like that. HighGuard's final update arriving soon. Thank you for playing with us. Today we are sharing difficult news. We have made the decision to permanently shut down HighGuard on March. Hold the fuck up.
Damn, I didn't even get to try the game yet.
Shut up. I thought, okay. On March 12th, since launch, more than 2 million players stepped into HighGuard's world. You shared feedback, created content, and many believed in what we were building. For that, we are deeply grateful. Okay, I'm breathing, Comrade, okay?
I'm very happy you need to breathe.
Despite the passion, hard work of our team, we have not been able to build a sustainable player base to support the game long term. Excuse me, jeez. Servers will remain online until
March 12th. Too much air. You inhaled too much air and it burped out. That you gotta practice your breathing skills, son.
We hope you'll jump in with us one more time to show your support and get those final great matches in while we still can. The team is excited to release one final update to enjoy in the remaining life of the game. We'll be adding a new warden, a new weapon, account level progression, and skill trees. Full patch notes are coming, and we're targeting tonight or tomorrow. This was fucking done March 3rd. So it's already implemented. And Comrade shared something else. There was a Bloomberg report, which I could see. I wish I could see the Bloomberg report itself, but I can't unless I get a token. Fewer than 20 staff remain at HighGuard Dev. The HighGuard Dev. That's reported March 2nd. Less than 20 people reported remain at HighGuard developer Wildlight Entertainment. It's according to Bloomberg, which spoke to 10 former Wildlight employees about the game's development and troubled launch. So yeah, not many.
So, by the way, and as a result, that article was posted, like I said, recently. But that 20 people, according to this article, was basically as of February 11th, the studio was reported as saying that they're out of money and that most of the 100-person team would be laid off.
Yes, Tencent.
They were having these issues way back in February.
Tencent was a backer, so this is a very curious case. This whole thing is crazy. Why I gotta speak about this is not many people want to try new games anymore. It's very top heavy. That's why you have games like Roblox and Fortnite having they're their own platforms. That's why you build your own games within those games nowadays, if you noticed. So a game like HighGuard won't. Not even HighGuard. Every shooter nowadays is gonna have a problem because it's too oversaturated. I also think people hated it from the start. It's hard to change a person's mind when they go in with a mindset. That's one thing. That's a psychological thing. It's happening with Marathon almost, where people are like vehemently hating it, but people who've actually played it, they like the gunplay. That's an example of people are just hating things without really fucking trying it. Also, I don't think people should pick on HighGuard because Tencent was backing it. Because that's your job as a leadership of building a studio is to get funding from wherever you can. Doesn't matter if they're big, it doesn't matter if they're small, because guess what? Shift Up. We just talked about Stellar Blade. They went to Sony for funding ads to help support the game. That's still an example of going to a major studio to help you. So doesn't matter how the funding is used. I don't like gamers nowadays how they think they know it all, and I don't think it's fair. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Know that what the hell Tencent, though, where the big problem with Tencent even is. So
what?
I don't think the average gamer will see a game, play it, and not realize, not care about, the big conglomerate Tencent that everybody hates funded this game. They're like, oh, I didn't like this game, or I did like this game. That's not
Comrade,
going to matter to them.
that will matter to them because yes, the company says they're independent, and people say, "Oh, you're not independent because you got funded." This is where you know how people say, "Oh, you say you're independent, but you're getting money from somewhere." So that's always been like the talk of the town where how do we pick what is independent, you know? So this is prime example of a big company supporting another one, but Stellar Blade's the same thing. But it's kind of hard to bring the truth to people. So read it, comrade. You gotta be in the grapevine. This is what people are complaining about. They were picking on them because they said they're independent but backed by Tencent. That's another thing. I didn't post it, but yeah. What do you guys think?
I don't
Overall.
understand who these people are, but
What do you think this whole HighGuard closing, the independence, gamers not trying really anything anymore? Like just a lot of stuff. Just speak your mind.
honestly, like that, in regards to the HighGuard closing, like there have been signs since as early as so immediately after the game was first released. There have been signs that this was going to be happening, not just because of the gamer sentiment that the game's looting portion was fucking awful and had no right to be there in this type of game, but also just because the actual studio, literally, like this article says, they went from 100 people to 20 people, basically immediately after the game launched. Basically, this based on how they were doing staffing and budgeting and everything in the background of the actual studio. This game was going to be basically dead regardless. And then basically a week after it was released, 90% of the players just dropped it. It was not. It was basically dead after the week. So it is unfortunate. Like I said, the game was fun, and they had if you look on Google, I'm sure you could find it. They had a roadmap for their plan for basically the entire year of content that they were going to be uploading every month or so, I believe, that they had like a new hero or a new map planned to release. So the team had a great plan and a solid base of a game. But I think, honestly, their original plan was to quite literally shadow drop this. But obviously, because it got so much more attention than it should have gotten all at once, a lot of people started hating on it and basically coming in here trying to hate it, like you said, Sub, and that's unfortunate for it. If it had come up with an alpha and then basically been dropped casually, normally over time, instead of having the literal magnifying glass like it had, I think this game would probably still be alive. I also noticed, if you noticed, one of the things that one of the more recent updates that they did do is also they added a mode where you get rid of the looting portion, just the siege, which is the sentiment for a lot of people. Like said that the looting portion was the weakest part of the game.
It's called game
But-
modes, jackass.
I know that's what
No,
I
it's just
said.
that I don't
We-
understand how people speak like that. They're called game modes. Like all games have different modes. I don't. That's what pisses me off.
I'm
The
very-
retarded
I'm-
is stupidness of people. Like, well, we're right because they made a mode. It's a fucking mode. You ever play shooters? They have all kinds of modes. I don't understand.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't get-
but it's also a mode that was not planned to be released until there wasn't on their roadmap. If you look, they weren't planning on adding any new modes until like 2-3 months into the future. The fact that they're adding
it's
now
called
does
plan
speak for
changes.
something.
It's called plans change. And also
Yeah, and plans
Tencent pulled.
change, and
Also
yeah,
Tencent
and- yeah,
pulled
and-
out. Pulled out when they failed the launch. By the way, early, very early.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Why plans change? Do you know why plans change? Plans change because your game is failing, and you need to do something to get players back. And the thing that you do to get players back is put in the thing that they request to try and pray and hope that people come back. But you do it too late.
Nobody's
and
gonna
there's already
play,
too late.
comrade. Trust me.
Exactly.
You're gonna. There is a bunch of games that fail.
Because 90% of the player base is already gone, Sob. Because they didn't fucking make a good impression in the first place. First impressions are very important for games.
It's funny how you say that. Rainbow Six Siege had one of the worst launches ever. It was riddled with glitches, bugs. It was stupidly broken. Look at where it is now. Why, comrade?
Because it had the game was solid player base. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It had a solid
It
player
was
base,
horrible.
and
It lost a lot of players early on. I hope you know this. Your history.
It had a good support system in the background because unlike Tencent, the team didn't get abandoned. They actually kept working on the game. That's fine. That's good for them. They actually but they also didn't have look at the Steam charts. How many people are actually playing HighGuard? They peaked a couple of weeks ago. I believe it peaked at less than 1,000 players. Siege has a lot more than just 1,000 players.
Because they failed. I don't know. You're not in Rainbow like I am, okay? That's the whole thing. You don't know that launch was horrible. People always say the worst update is the health update. Why? Because you had no content. You had no content. That was just a whole year of fucking fixing bugs and broken shit. People say that's the worst one, but people acknowledge if that didn't happen, Siege would never be here anymore because they took that whole time, no new content. That would break any game nowadays.
Yeah.
Comrade, that would break any game nowadays, Comrade. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. That's just what I gotta say.
Same thing with if you look at it, your favorite game, the single player game, No Man's Sky, that you love to talk about. That same thing happened with that one. That game was by all accounts, dead on arrival because it was absolutely terrible. They fixed it. It's a great game now. They delivered on all the things that they promised. They delivered on even more than they promised. It's a great game now. It's very fun. That's the thing. Is like this part. The problem here is for HighGuard, they launched with too high of an expectation on players because they got shown off at the Game Awards. There's literally a fucking microscope on this game by like too many people, like millions of people were watching this game. And then before the game even launched, they cut their entire studio by like more than half. So like this game was in the background, dead on arrival before even the gamers got to it. Basically, if you read this Bloomberg article, like the game was dead on arrival, based on like funding and and reactions from testers and everything. It wasn't good. It was not in the background. It was not a good look for the game, if from the background sense either.
Doesn't matter.
It's
I know
unfortunate.
gamers don't know what they want. I'm gonna say it again. They think they know what they want. They think they know what's a good game. They play Fortnite. They play Minecraft. They play Roblox. How am I to argue against that? Gamers nowadays are stupid. I'm not. I'm just gonna offend everybody. I think they're stupid. They don't want to try
Whoa,
shit.
Half, did you hear this? Half, do you hear this?
I'm listening.
He's offending our main category of listeners. He's pissing off our listeners right now.
It doesn't matter. It's just the truth. They don't try. They're zombie gamers. They stay on the phone. I'm gonna repeat. They stay on that damn phone and fucking just play a game because they just are bored. They got no money. They don't go out. They're just bored. They might as well just fucking do something. I'm just being honest. It's just art.
Yeah,
Art's supposed to be a different thing. I know it's subjective, but in gaming, that's why people don't like Call of Duty. A lot of us don't like Call of Duty because we know what it's been the same for years, but yet people still play it. This is the example where people just still play the same games. It's the same shit. Like Comrade says, Overwatch is not the same. It's the same shit. I've been playing it. Doesn't have to be I've been playing it for many, many years, just like Call of Duty. What is gonna change? I can't. You can't change my mind.
Don't lie to me, Snob. You have not played Overwatch in for many years. You haven't touched the game in like what 6 years now. You haven't.
What changed? Did it change into GTA? Did it change into an RPG? Did it change into a RTS? What has changed? I understand about meta. I understand about new characters, but what has technically changed?
They got rid of the 2. It's a big deal.
I don't give a
It's a whole new game.
It's not a whole new game. It's not a whole new game.
Overwatch is back, guys.
It's not a whole new game.
Let
It's
it be
not a whole
known.
new game.
Overwatch is.
And
What are your thoughts on this topic, Cap?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Because he's gonna piss me the fuck off.
Overwatch is back.
Hell yeah!
Just saying those 3 words, I know like it ignites a fire in Sob somewhere.
It does, because stupid players think they know what the fuck they're talking about. Oh, it's the most popular, so it's the best one. No, we all know that. Grew up knew that. Why the fuck? Overwatch is not that. It's okay. It was the first. It was not the first. Team Fortress was the first, but it wasn't on consoles, so console players never got a chance to play it. So it technically is the first one. But yeah. Here comes Comrade. I fucking don't like TF2. It sucks. And then he's gonna get a fucking hater. If he were big, trust me, he'll get a lot of haters in his fucking mail. Like people will fucking thrash him for saying that shit. That's just a retard. That's just a retard speaking.
First of all, the thing I was gonna say is, I'm a heavy main on TF2, but that's not at all what I was going to say. I was going to tell you that Overwatch is back.
He's going to piss me off!
Well, I honestly, I was going to ask you what your thoughts on the actual topic we were talking about, but I completely forgot what the actual topic we were talking about even was. So
I'm saying,
What are your thoughts on HighGuard closing?
What are your thoughts on HighGuard closing? Do you think the community really gave it a chance? Do you think any new games nowadays have a chance? Because that is a real question people have been thinking. I've been thinking for years. Because games like Fortnite has been around 10 years. Minecraft, Roblox, people just, the grown gamers are attached to those. The little ones too. Now
I don't know do I think gamers are really giving games these days a chance? I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't know, because in order to figure that out, we would have to run a lot of tests and field tests and stuff like that, and see if the attention span between generations are different, because that would have something to do with it, and it's a lot. But I don't know to answer your question. HighGuard, I've only literally seen like the trailer that we watched I think last month for the what was it, the game show, game exhibition thing or something like that. I forgot what it was. But we watched something and that was it. I saw the trailer, I thought it looked cool. I didn't get a chance to try it yet, obviously. But yeah, that's too bad. I did want to give it a shot, but I don't know. I think I don't know, the stuff you were saying that people were complaining about having too much space and stuff like that seems kind of nonsensical, I guess. I like open spaces. I don't like being crammed up. So I think that would have been a nice change for me, but a lot of people gamers especially, it's kind of hard for them to branch out and try different things. So maybe that might have something to do
Thank
with it.
Thank you.
But I don't really have much else to say here.
There was a shooting game where you don't get to shoot until the shooting game where you don't get to shoot anyone until like 20 minutes into the game. It was not a fun portion of the
I
second.
remember
It was not a fun portion. The open world portion was not fun.
Remember we exposed Comrade. Remember we exposed his hours. And I exposed myself.
Right. And
66 hours.
Yeah. No, I never said
no,
66
me.
hours.
I got 66 hours on that.
Okay.
Bitch.
Yeah. And to be fair, after you exposed me, I went back. I played some more. I tried to play more to get to your 60 whatever the fuck hours because of your achievement whore hunting ways because you couldn't fucking get your one achievement. But I tried to play more. I couldn't do it. I played another couple of hours. I got bored.
This man only plays Overwatch and Rivals as shooters. You can tell already where he puts himself in.
I went back honestly because of this game, because of HighGuard. Luca and I have been playing a lot more Apex because it reminds me. It's very, very much reminds me of Apex, and I've been having a lot of fun in Apex. But this, like I said, this game it's very hard for me to get into it because the looting portion just ruins it for me. I don't think that this game should have had this looting portion. I'm adamant about that. It ruins it for me.
Comrade's the type of gamer is he believes that every game should launch perfectly when a lot of games he's played didn't really launch perfectly in his lifetime. So it's kind of weird.
I'm not saying
he's like, oh my god, Fortnite is the best. Oh my god.
I've never said that. I've never said that.
That's how you act towards the game. That's how you act towards the game. That's the whole controversy. People act like it's supposed to be perfect day one, like a multiplayer never has to change all the time. That is what people have been arguing about still about this game. It's the perfection look on it.
It's changing. It's a good thing that it did. I've never said that it had to be perfect, Sob. Overwatch was not perfect when it left. It still isn't perfect when it launched. Like, there's games that are not going to be perfect. It's about finding enjoyment in a game. If you find a game that you enjoy playing because of you stick to it and you have fun playing a game. HighGuard is not that game for me. I'm so happy that you get to spend like 10 days before your fucking stupid ass figured out that the legendary guns are the guns that say legendary right underneath the fucking name tag so you can get your fucking achievement and spend like 30 hours in a game. I'm so proud of you, Sob. I'm happy that you had fun in HighGuard. I had fun in HighGuard too, but I got bored because the fucking portion of it didn't enjoy me. I'm sorry that I don't like the HighGuard game as much as your fucking ass did.
So what's the problem with me finding Overwatch boring after a while? Why do I want to go back? Why? Like, what is it that you pick on me, but I can't just like say, yeah, you play easy fucking games. It's like when I go back to Rainbow Six Siege is chess. But Comrade's like, oh, he's going to go back to Rainbow Six. Yeah, because it's fucking chess, you dumbass. You playing checkers. What the fuck do you want from me? Your shit is ass. Overwatch is ass.
Feelings your hypocritical ass that says, oh, gamers always go back to their comfort games. They never try new things. And what does Sob do? He always goes back to Rainbow Six, goes back to his comfort games that he thinks are the greatest fucking games in the world. When I do it, I'm the biggest fucking dick in the world. I'm part of the problem. But when Sob does it, he's a fighter, and he has a big brain because he plays 3D chess in fucking Rainbow Six. But when I play Overwatch because I enjoy the game, I'm part of the problem. That's my problem with you, Sob. As much as you are. You can't stay the same. You can't fucking insult me for going back to my favorite game when you do the same thing. But it's not your fault.
Anyways,
Holy
Comrade's mic is going out, so we're gonna move on to stats about HighGuard. So Chad Greener, I don't know how to say his name. He worked on the game. He said, "We have slightly over 2 million players worldwide try the game. I would like to thank you all for giving the game a try, giving all the backlash announced and launched it. Trying the game for yourself is all I could have asked for. Thanks to our players." Moving on, it says, average session duration was 91 minutes. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. That's not a lot to try out a game. This is actually quite good. I disagree with that. I think he's just being very positive there. This means on average, a player logged in HighGuard and played 91 minutes. That is not a fucking long time for a month. He's being very positive there. Most people should know you take hours into a game. The average games played per session was 3.48.
A lot of this is wishful thinking. That's the stats are not.
No. These stats are from like stuff you don't. This is stats that you don't get to see. This is stuff every company has.
Yeah, exactly.
Most recently,
saying, like, these...
PS5 was the biggest player base by 2 times, then Xbox, then Steam. I'm surprised Steam is the lowest number, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because most Steam players are entitled pricks and they think they have the best player base. I keep forgetting that. But yeah, surprising that PlayStation was holding up pretty much what it was doing. So that's good. Anyways, moving on, because I don't like Steam. Scarlet was the most picked character by a good margin. I don't know who that is. So you see the stats in front of you guys?
Scarlet is the one that did the little sand moves and turned invisible and could sneak behind people.
She was a cute thing. But yeah, here you go. Oh, Econ. Okay, I will say this. After a while, Econ was one of the coolest looking hero characters in quite a while for me. I think he looked badass.
You know, he should have been in the base game 100%. Like if he was in the base game, he'd be probably the most played character.
He's a black character who turns into a werewolf. His abilities is yelling. He howls and then he pings people. He's pretty cool looking. He has a pretty cool kid, I think. But yeah,
sounds cool.
No, he really was. I thought he was actually well thought out.
I agree. I think he was honestly one of the coolest characters I played in a lot in the new hero shooters that I played. I played a few. He was definitely one of the cooler characters that I've played, and I enjoyed playing him.
Most games were ended via exploding, generators destroyed, anchor destroyed, tower plant, good defense. Yeah, these are things we don't really get to see. The Vanguard had most kills during development. Forget what the hell the Vanguard is. I think that's that assault rifle. There you go, everybody. Look at this. I'm not going to go through.
It was the OP assault rifle that had 0 recoil that everybody used.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. This says U.S. was by far our largest audience, but huge shout out to Japan for being our second biggest player base. 92% of people who loaded the game for the first time completed the training mission. This is actually a very healthy number. Similar, basically, I can assume that most people hated it, played the thing, and then gave it a review. And on Steam, it said, "Fuck this game," per usual. 3v3 continued to be our most played mode. Comrade can't defend that. About the Steam reviews, even after we added 5v5 raid rush. So you see here 3v3.
You want to know why 3v3 was our most popular mode? Because most people that played the game left before they added the 5v5, so nobody tested the 3v3 because no one tested the 5v5 mode because people who actually stayed and played the game were the people who actually enjoyed the 3v3 mode.
Anyways, Comrade's wrong again. 5v5 was the smallest, and ranked was the second biggest. Fuck you. And
Comrade isn't allowed to have an opinion.
No, you're allowed to have an opinion, but I think it's wrong.
And I'm entitled to my opinion.
What do you think of all these interesting stats that you see? Any comments?
Okay.
Half as a little look behind the curtain of a video game that normally doesn't
we don't ever get to see. It's a rare.
Yeah. So I'm trying to. I don't really have much. I mean, I don't really have much.
This
to
is
say
like
on
if
this.
Tekken was to show you all these stats and you'll see the minute details, percentages.
Like
Oh.
they
This is basically just all this stuff we don't really get to see.
Yeah, I'll have to pass on this one. I don't really
Alright,
know
alright.
enough about.
Comrade,
Yeah.
because I know you know it all. Go ahead, Comrade.
I don't know shit. I don't know where you got that notion.
What
But,
do you think of
I
this look in the behind the scenes?
think it's cool. I feel like I agree with you that more games should do this kind of, not maybe not to this extent, but it's a nice. It's good to see like behind the curtain of like a lot of the stats. I like it. Like I said, it's cool. A lot of this does seem the way that he was explaining this. It seems like he was very sad while trying to make it seem a lot more positive than it actually was. Like a lot of his comments, like, "Oh, this is actually a very healthy number." It seems like it's more of a, yeah, he's just trying to stay positive.
And there's nothing wrong with
No.
that, right? Like,
Yeah,
I think
100%.
what I get mad at gamers, they expect a leader's supposed to be positive, right? They'll be real with you, but at the same time, they will find a way. They have to keep the ship going forward. And most gamers who don't fucking work think that they have all the answers, that leaders aren't supposed to do that, but they're technically supposed to. A lot in PlayStation, Xbox, don't matter what, your favorite League of Legends, they are positive in there. Yeah, they're gonna have their cursing and all that, right? But they have to have a vision. They have to steer that ship. Comrade understands about leadership. He should. So I don't get why gamers also call that. That's they're weird for that one. I think they've never been a leader in a position. They just go to a job and say fuck this job and then come back and play games. That's how I feel like most. But it's kind of weird how they call those things out.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, I agree with that, and that's not wrong.
Just to expose myself per usual, because I want to be real with people, 66 hours. I stopped playing it after that because I got the ultra rare, or not ultra rare, the rare platinum trophy.
You got the platinum. The
Yeah.
platinum.
So
and
usually-
then you stop playing the game.
Yeah, usually what happens is I give hours to a game, or if I get a trophy, I take a break. If I decide to come back or not, because I always want to play something new, I want to try, because games are very different. So.
However,
but
with
yeah.
this one, you wanted to get the platinum before the game died because you wanted a rare
No, I never said
platinum
that.
trophy that no
I
one
never said that.
before
I
no
never
one-
said that. Stop spreading lies. Stop spreading lies.
That's
know,
all I heard,
know.
comrade.
So
Exactly. You might not have said it, but we know.
no, you guys don't know. Anyways, moving on. Fuck y'all. This is the other big news. Sony pulls back from PlayStation games on PC. This was reported by Bloomberg Jason Schreier March 4th. Now, this is still a per se rumor, okay? Unless it's said by the actual developer, a lot of these are rumors, but Bloomberg is a big time media and Jason Schreier is a big time reporter, which gets majority of things, a lot of things on point. So we take this as basically as true. Basically, I didn't even put this up, did I? No, I didn't. So they plan to not
How
release.
fucking dare you not put that up? So how dare you?
They plan to not release any more single player games. The last one was what, Karma? Do you know? What was on PC last?
Their last single player game?
Yeah.
PlayStation? I don't even remember.
Well, if you remember, then
was
tell
it
me.
one of the God of Wars? Was it one of the God of Wars?
I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man 2? So yeah, they're pulling back. Wolverine, the new God of War game didn't have a PC release. That was also a eye raiser from people. And then when Wolverine got advertised, they also didn't say PC. So people started seeing something. Yeah. What was I going to say? They're still going to release Marathon. Obviously, it just released. And Marvel Tokon. I think multiplayer games are the only ones that are going to probably be the ones releasing on PC. That's basically it. This is not that deep. It's just Jason Schreier talking to people, getting his connections, and that's what he came up with, talking to his anonymous sources. But games like Death Stranding 2 and Kena are going to still release on PC because that's like a second party. So Sony's doing the publishing, some funding, I believe. I may be wrong on that one, but I think they have their contract talks and all that stuff. So they get to decide whether they want it on PlayStation and PC. So, there was something I didn't share with you, Comrade. From what's
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I'm still here.
okay, what's speaking around the grapevine is that Ghost of Yote was pretty deep in PC territory development, and Sony decided to scrap it. That's rumors. That I didn't share that. So, but yeah, this is pretty much what this is. I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm not speaking about this very well, but it's a pretty easy thing to understand even by the title. In this report, it says, though, a faction within PlayStation has also expressed concern releasing their games on PC risks damaging the console's brand, which most gamers never think about. They never think about that, the perception of a brand. But most people don't run companies. They think they know what they're doing. They play the game. They're like, I understand 100% what game development is. Or, all this shit. And will hurt sales of the PlayStation 5 and its successors, according to people familiar with Sony's inner workings. Yeah.
Right back. I'm Comrade Beard.
Welcome back. This for me makes sense, but I'm gonna add on to this. My bad. I'm reading this very badly. MBG had posted something saying this Spider-Man 2 sales might reveal why Sony's pulling away from PC. Now, I don't believe this is the main cause because plans always change. They don't just sit there, make a plan a year ago and don't always change it month to month, week to week based on updates of their competition or what's going on. Because most people, I hate how people think. They think, oh, they're going to continue doing PC. That won't change. Like they live in some la la land. Says over 60 million units sold on PS5 as late of 2025. 70,000 on Steam. PS5 version is still selling 100 to 200k monthly. Steam sales stagnant. That I'm not surprised by that, personally. It's also worth noting Spider-Man 2 is the fastest PS5 release to PC port Sony has done this generation. I'm not all this. I'm not surprised. One thing is Steam people act entitled a lot, so I'm not surprised by that. They also wait for sales. They don't spend full price on things. That's another thing. I also don't think this is bad. I told Comrade, and he will obviously disagree with me. I think competition is good. We need competition. People want things everywhere. That doesn't breed competition. People love their games when they're done well. No layoffs. Feels like the game is released in a very high quality state. But that's due to competition. That's what competition is, and nobody ever freaking thinks about that. I'm glad that if this is true, because it's still a rumor, but it's obviously pointing so. A lot of people who are very well reliable sources have backed this up. So I for one am happy for this because we need these companies to start working for us, not working for themselves per se. And competition does it. I also think it's the Xbox thing because Xbox is, a lot of people already feel like Xbox is on their last leg, right? Why would PlayStation want to give them life? It's their competition, right? Why? Like, it makes no sense. If you had an enemy, would you give your enemy life to come back and beat you down? Like, most people don't think like this is real life. This is some shit this is some serious shit. But yeah, anyways, I'm blabbing on. Comrade, what do you think of this?
Before that, I will say, from what I can remember and what I can see is the last game that Sony put out on both like all consoles, PlayStation and Steam and PC basically, would have been Helldivers back in 24. But before that, I believe that would have been
Single player.
Okay, I believe that would technically be the remaster of Horizon 1 that they also released on PC, which would have also been 24. I believe that would have been it.
I have it right here.
Oh,
It
what?
shows 2,538 is peak. In 17 months, 1,056 and 24, which 710 is on right now. I believe that these numbers are much higher on PlayStation. I can already assume. I'll bet my bottom dollar. But yeah, I have it on the screen right now.
But to go with what you said earlier, I don't disagree. I've never disagreed with you that competition is a good thing. Competition breeds better games because competition is a good thing. My only thing is, like I said, it's the fact that Sony is pulling out of the PC market after they've already dipped their foot so far into it. It's strange to me. Like that's a strange move to do some, like, invest so much time, money, and effort into a market and then pull out like so suddenly, so quickly out of it.
How though?
Like I
How?
said,
How?
well, listen, what I think is happening is like kind of what you were saying. It is most likely because their Xbox is making moves that we're not aware of. That it goes back to like seeing behind the curtain. There's probably things going on behind the curtain that we're not privy to. We don't have this information of things that Sony is going through, so things that Xbox is planning on doing. We just don't have that information. So most likely Sony and Xbox, they do have insight on things that are going on behind the scenes, and maybe this is a good decision. It just doesn't seem like I said. It seems like when you invest like billions of dollars into a specific market and then decide we don't want to do it, it just seems weird to me. I don't know. But then again, I'm not a multi-million-dollar company. I don't know what, like I said, what goes behind the curtain. So maybe this is a good decision.
I think this would have
I
happened.
do agree with you. Like,
I think this would have happened. I think this would have happened overall because I know it's gonna go to happen. I think this is gonna happen overall because Steam. Remember, I told you Steam's going into the living room. They're going into their territory. It's a new competitor, right? Why would you want to? I think this is gonna happen overall. If Steam was to release a Steam machine and be successful, depends on how successful they are. Plans always change. So I'm a firm believer that it would have happened. Anyways, but continue. I'm sorry. Apologize.
Yeah, and that's like so that's part of it. Like I think basically Sony realizes that hey, Xbox is making moves to get more competitive. Steam is making moves to get more console orientated, and like you said, Sony probably is a good decision after thinking about this. It probably is a good decision for them to do it. Like I said, so that they can have their own brand, to keep their own brand. I get that, but the problem with that is, like I said, it's strange that they would do it now, just all and so suddenly. To me, I didn't expect it to happen, and no one expected it to happen all so suddenly. And like I said, that there's things that are happening that we just don't understand. So I don't know if you have an opinion on this, Half, but I think that's basically my point. Is I don't know, and I think there are big moves that we just don't see. Basically,
I pretty much agree with everything you guys said. Trying to think about what else I could really add on to that, but you guys pretty much brought up good points, especially with Steam making their own console now. It's like, you can clearly see that they're trying to dominate both fields. So it's like, why would I keep giving my games to Steam if that's the case? But again, I guess we don't know what's going on, and I guess as long as the trade-off is worth it in the long run and they're not losing more, Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to add on to it. You guys kind of said everything I was gonna say. So
I
I don't know.
will repeat. People are upset about this, right? But plans always change. Like I said, they sit in their couch. They don't be in leadership. They don't understand business or just in competition. They just think Steam is the best. We don't care about GOG. We don't care about Epic Games. You know what I mean? They just care about
See, the
Steam.
problem with this is a lot of people who are upset about this were most likely people who probably
Steam.
never would have probably never have bought a PlayStation in the first place, but wanted to play PlayStation games and were so excited that they're now on PC, which is their only their only system that they have, and now they could play God of War because it's now on PC. But before it was only on Sony, and now goes back to like kind of what you were saying is now if Sony goes back to only playing on PlayStation or only selling on PlayStation, now those PC players or Xbox players that only ever played their one console, now in order to play Sony's games, they have to buy a Sony console again. So now it's going back to kind of what you were saying. Sony wants to keep its brand identity.
My PC. When we talk about PC, it's always Steam. Steam people are entitled. They think they deserve everything when they don't have no competition. There was never been competition with Steam. Epic's the only one trying, but they're failing obviously because Steam is so entrenched. Like I said, remember what I told you, Comrade? If Steam was to head-to-head face off against PlayStation, who would lose? If Microsoft couldn't do it and Nintendo couldn't do it for what people I always ask people, what do you think Steam's chances are? Remember, I told Comrade before, Sony is always looking for a fight, looking to be better themselves, looking for that war. They're not afraid. They don't run. They go into it. Remember when it's like I tell people, they won PlayStation 5, right? They're doing better. They're actually currently selling way better than Switch 2. They are dominating right now. They're not afraid. Guess what they're doing now? The rumor is, heavy rumor by reliable sources, that they're going into the handheld market. A person does not leave their comfortable spot and just sit there and get fat. Sony is putting money into a handheld, rumors, which we're all going to believe, to take on these handheld PCs, to take on the Switch. Nobody stupidly does that. Sony is not afraid for a fight. That's why I'm always telling these people, they're not afraid. They have the dog in them. They fight with Blu-rays against HD DVDs. They're not afraid in their history of competition. They are not afraid to step into water. Obviously, if they have a good plan. That's why I don't get these Steam. And I also don't get Steam people because they're like, oh, the game's not coming out. But I always bring up, hey, where's Half-Life? Hey, why isn't Dota 2 on console? Why isn't Half-Life Alyx on PSVR 2? Why? I asked really, well thought out question. That's a well thought out question. You guys complain about Sony, but then when it comes to you guys, you have no answer. So why does it have to be a one-way street? Why not Nintendo? It's just stupidity of people. I'm just here to ask the hard questions or the common questions. Like, I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care if I look silly. I want to know the answers. Why is it only a one-way street? You tell me, Comrade.
Listen, like I said, I don't know enough about it.
I know, but I'm asking for your
really go
opinion.
for it.
I'm just asking for your opinion. Why is it a one-way street with Steam people?
I don't know, Bob. Should be a two-way streak, like you said. It's basically they're two sides of the same coin, and they should be held to the same standard, but it just isn't always the case. There's larger fan base, larger or a more vocal minority on one side or the other that like screams louder than the other, and it's always going to happen. One side is going to be screaming louder than the other side. It's always like that.
So
And the side that screams the loudest is usually the side that most people are attracted to because it's usually the side that is more seen, it's more visible, and that happens to be the PC side versus Sony side.
Now,
And that also happens to be the fact that, like, probably why Sony's going to their brand identity, because Sony needs to get people back onto their side so that their own brand could actually have a louder voice rather than merging in with other others larger voices that and be getting drowned out, basically.
now, remember how I told you? Does it make sense what I say that Sony wants to fight? What do you think of Sony going to make a handheld, going into the fight?
Sony's always been fighting. Sony's always been fighter. That you said that, like, we've agreed with that. Sony has always been aggressive and on the forefront of it. Like, even they years and years ago, even before like we started talking about them, like Sony's always been on the offensive on these companies. It it's it's good for them.
Um,
I think it's good.
that's what I'm asking. Do you think Steam has a chance if they were to be going 1-to-1, head to head? If Microsoft didn't have a chance, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, I at this point, like you said, Steam definitely has a chance because Xbox has been falling behind. Steam definitely has a chance to become a contender, 100%. Like in the console market, it definitely has a huge chance right now, a huge opportunity. 100% agree, but I don't think it's going to overcome big players like Nintendo and Sony right now. Like, so Steam definitely has a chance to become a household name, 100%.
I'm asking about their
but
fight. I'm asking head to head. If they were to fight them, do you think they have a chance? That's my question.
in the console
If they had to go
no.
1v1 punch for punch like Microsoft did,
In the space of if
in
we're
just
talking about
general, just in general, if they were to whatever head to head
if they were
companies,
to go head to head, honestly, I feel like my opinion on this is like, as honestly, just because of the fact that the way that PC players are, the way that Steam fans are, I think Sony would be projected as the loser, even if it was regardless of the outcome. Sony would be shown as the loser on this situation, just because PC players are the vocal majority.
remember,
There's a huge amount of players that will be screaming. I think Sony would come out even or on top, 100%. I think Sony has a better base. They have much more like infrastructure. They have the resources, much more resources and connections than Steam does in regards to the market of production and of game development. I think that they would be coming up on top, 100%. Steam has been falling behind in game development and on production. They don't have the same level of resources that Sony does. I will 100% think that Sony would either come even or on top. However, regardless of the outcome, they would be basically articled and projected as the losers, because the PC majority will never let anyone other than PC players and Steam win anything ever. That's how it is.
Half. What do you think of that? What do you think of? Do you think Sony or PlayStation has always been in a fight, has that dog in them, and do you think that pound for pound can Steam fight in a fight against PlayStation when Microsoft didn't have a chance, or Nintendo? Even though, yeah, Nintendo's still around, but yeah.
I think Steam would stand a chance, but yeah, Sony always had that dog in them, to quote you. Sony, if you're gonna make a new handheld, I would really love a new PSP Vita. I love shit out of my Vita. That was an amazing handheld. Very cool, stylish, fun games on there.
Ahead of its time.
But yeah, Sony, it's it has the Sony, the VR, the Quest and everything, the handheld. So I'm not surprised to hear them trying to remake a handheld. Yeah, I guess that's really
This is
yeah.
a big topic to talk about, because you know how I don't know if Comrade remember. Remember, Comrade, I told you long ago, I said branding. I talked to you about branding where Steam players, they love Steam, right? But do they really love Steam? Will they wear a Steam shirt? Will they buy figurines or posters of Valve games? Will they buy the Steam Link, which they didn't? Will they buy Steam those mini PCs when it came out years ago? Obviously, they didn't. They didn't support the branding. Yes, they bought the Steam Deck, but that is nothing near what Switch is. They're such a minuscule of buyers. That's what branding is. Remember, I talked to you before that branding is a very huge perception, and I don't think Steam users are very behind Steam like they believe they are. What do you think?
I think that's like you said. That is part of the branding focus. When you say, when you think, oh, God of War, you think, oh, that's Sony, that's PlayStation, and like that's like back to the original topic of this. The reason why Sony is probably backing out of this is, among many other topics, is like you said, to keep their brand. Because when you think Steam, I don't immediately think, oh, Half-Life. I don't think, oh, Steam. They're the ones that are owned by Valve, and they made Half-Life 2. They made Half-Life Alyx. No, you don't think that and think Valve. When you think Steam, you think, oh, that's the storefront that has my favorite game by that's the storefront that I can play HighGuard on, which is by Wildlight.
Yeah.
You don't think Steam and think Valve. So there's no connection to. There's no brand name. There's no brand connection to Steam. The brand connection on Steam is it's just literally a storefront for the game that you actually want. It's just the storefront for the brand that you actually care about. So yeah, 100%. Like, I agree with that. Sony definitely has the bigger recognizable, like more people recognize PlayStation and Sony than they would Valve nowadays, because Valve hasn't released anything really other than Steam. Steam is just all Valve is now.
What do you think, Half? What do you think about branding?
I think everything he said was correct. Steam is just a storefront, so it's not like, think of Steam, I think of a bunch of video games, but it's not like the video games
Company
are made by Steam themselves. They're just made by a bunch of other independent developers, which is still cool. But if we're talking about branding, like you said, when I think about Sony, I think about God of War, I think about Ratchet and Clank, I think about Horizon Zero Dawn. The list goes on. So yeah, that definitely matters a lot to just wrap that up.
I'm just
Anything else?
picking up I was gonna say
Picking our
also
brains
yeah, so
like a
also
vulture.
I just thought of it.
And then you lost it. But
now you have to sit back. If we don't want Sony to get weak, right? PlayStation get weak. Because if you really think about it, who else in the video game market makes cinematic games like them? If you were to sit back and think anywhere, PC, Nintendo, Xbox, who really makes games like Sony?
I don't know. If you said that, maybe like
cinematic. I'm talking about cinematic. They make cinematic. That's their whole shtick, obviously.
Cinematic.
Like,
I don't
Comrade
know.
knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking. The style that Sony likes to make their games. Like, he understands that.
I will say, like I said, I agree with that. Like, there's a lot of new indie developers that are coming out with games that are that's cinematic style. So that's not. If you had made that argument earlier, I'd agree with you. But now it's not. It's not.
So you're saying those indies have
games like The Last of Us, games like Uncharted, like games like God of War. They are Red Dead 2. They are like basically the standard for these cinematic masterpieces that like immerse you into the game 100%. Sony has made that the standard basically for that type of
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But nobody else does. Really doesn't like them.
You can't say nobody else does that really, because there are people that are coming out now that are attempting to do these types of things.
That costs money.
Managed to do it.
That costs money.
I'm saying, like, yeah, that's the problem. And Sony has that big money; they can do it. But
Yeah,
no
bro.
one's
Like I'm
been able to
playing Lies of
master.
P, and
Go
this
ahead.
shit's the Lies of P's made by a fucking Korean team, but this shit definitely has cinema in it.
All right,
Yeah,
never mind. I'm not
what I'm
gonna.
saying.
That's a
Like, there are
Souls game.
games that are coming out there, and people haven't really reached this peak cinematic like masterpieces that Sony can play. Like none of these massive set
But that's
pieces
what
that
I'm
cost
saying.
money.
That's
But
what I'm
people are
saying.
getting to that point. It's going to be catching up to Sony soon.
Not yet. Not yet.
I think it's already there.
I don't think it's there. I personally don't think it's there.
I think a lot of mine and Sob's perspective is also nostalgia. Like when we
It's not
first
nostalgia.
played Uncharted and we saw that fucking set piece of the train in Uncharted, they're like, "Holy shit, this is the greatest game ever!" But you know,
He
Nobody-
loves
some level of that
Uncharted.
nostalgia.
It's not nostalgia. They have mocaps. They have all they just have something that's theirs. Like Nintendo. Who does games like Nintendo? You guys are gonna be like, well, there's a lot of you could just say that, but really if you have to sit and think about it, nobody's reached that level. Nobody's reached Sony's level of cinematic. Nobody. You could say yes, there is people who trying to do that, but nobody's reached that level. Like Nintendo. Nobody's reached Nintendo's level yet. That's true. That's a statement of true. But
What I
yeah.
just said, yeah.
No, you didn't. Just said it's nostalgia.
Literally.
But anyways, fuck
I
you.
literally just said that the
Fuck
games
you.
that haven't gotten to
Fuck
them.
you.
Like, fuck you, son.
Fuck you. And moving
Fuck
on,
you.
we're gonna move on now. Picking brain. Just so you know, the most is obviously Helldivers. Looking on the screen, 458,000. 2.1 years ago, that was our highest. And a lot of these single players I see on the screen really don't do much. 8,000 for Ratchet and Clank, 10,000 for Uncharted Collection, 35,000. Like, yeah, I'm alright with that. Moving on. Like, we're going to move on to Assassin's Creed, which Comrade's gonna take over from here because he loves Ass Creed. Assassin's Creed into 2026. A brand update, Comrade. Give it to us.
I know, and I love Assassin's Creed. It is such a great brand. Unfortunately, I'm dumb and I can't find the article. But basically, as I try to search for this article,
it says,
so I can
"Hello,
actually read
everyone."
wonderful things,
As we
are
get ready,
wonderful.
hold on.
Let me
I'm gonna
actually
post
do
it.
any fucking talking. Well, Sam, very rude guy,
There you go.
interrupting me like that.
There you go. I sent it to you.
Thank you. So we're talking about this one guy known as Jean Guidon has been basically put out this article. Jean Guidon is a gentleman who has been promoted Assassin's Creed to be head of content. This is good news for a lot of good news for Assassin's Creed. Basically, come out. Basically, they are putting out that several of their games, such as their game that was the horror-driven one called Hexy. That one is being basically delayed as they're trying to. He basically came in and said that it needs to be redone in a basically from the ground up. They're basically redoing it. There's a lot of other announcements, such as their multiplayer game, which was codenamed Invictus. That was like a PvP multiplayer Assassin's Creed experience, which we don't know too much about. There has been other types of multiplayers and co-op experiences in a lot of their a lot of Assassin's Creed games. So they're also looking to bring those back. So these are all good news. Assassin's Creed Unity had an incredible co-op experience that you could play. It was very entertaining to play that with friends because you were able to just make new assassins movements and coordinate team efforts basically too that normally wouldn't be able to do alone. So it was a lot of fun. Then another cool thing that Sob, I'm sure, will be so happy about, because the only game that of the Assassin's Creed franchise that Sob actually likes, Black Flag, has been officially announced that they are actually doing a remake for it.
One of the worst kept secrets.
Yes, it's no longer a rumor. Yeah, it's actually officially been confirmed.
Comrade's day one.
Then
Comrade's day one, not waiting for half price. He's paying full price for that shit. Maybe even special edition.
you're completely correct. I will say Black Flag is, like I said, one of the best Assassin's Creed games. Also, literally the Assassin's Creed thing that literally ruined the entire Assassin's Creed franchise because every single other Assassin's Creed game basically had to be open world after Black Flag. So that's why it all started sort of going downhill. But that's
Oh,
besides the
that
point.
was Origins. You're a fan, and you should
Well,
know
yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, but Black Flag was the first open world game that they released, in a sense. But basically, ever since then, every single game had to have water and had to have boats because boats and water were the greatest thing in the universe. So, besides the point, we could get into that another time. The Assassin's Creed best game, also the game that ruined the entire franchise. But other things that are announced was the live action Netflix series. We're going to be getting.
That's old news.
Something I know, but that's actually been officially announced, and there's going to be more news coming soon about that. So those are the big things. They released a actual patch for Unity, which is like 460 FPS.
Well, that's other news.
They're
Yes, 60 frames. Who else but Ubisoft? Conrad, you gotta respect Ubi. I know people like to pick on them, but they actually go back to their old games and install new patches so you can be playable at higher frames. Conrad, you gotta respect that. You know they've done that with
And like I
Far
said,
Cry. Go ahead.
I think a lot of this is, like I said, this new guy, this John Guidon. He was one of the ones that worked on Black Flag originally. He was the one who I think I told you this. He was the original director for like Assassin's Creed 1. He was the original director for Black Flag, and then he moved on to other projects, and now they're basically bringing him back into as the head of content, as the literal head of all Assassin's Creed brand, to literally try to save the series because he has under his belt some of the best Assassin's Creed titles. So they're, like I said, no one other than Ubisoft really does that kind of stuff. They're pretty dedicated to it. So,
You ever
I'll leave
played
it to you.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Half-
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fucking other person named Half.
You didn't say half, but
I said half, but you didn't saw this. He's got a good point.
oh no, I haven't played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I've only played the first one, but I enjoyed it for the little time I played it. It's a game I always wanted to come back to and try again because it was fun.
Play Black Flag. Play
Um,
Black Flag. Play Black Flag.
No, to answer your question, no, I never played Black Flag.
No, but play it. You should play it.
You
Oh.
should play the remaster when it comes out because the remaster is being held by
Remake.
the remake. Sorry, the remake. Like I said, I'm very more hopeful for the remake to be actually good because, like I said, this guy Jean Guido is the one who made the original Black Flag. So I feel like as the person who made the original Black Flag, he won't let it be completely destroyed because he actually knows the game. He actually knows what he's doing in a game that he literally made originally. So
he's making a remake of Black Flag. Black Flag.
basically, well, he's been promoted to a
Yes.
much higher position than he was originally. But yes, he is helming the remake.
The
among
Black
many
Flap.
others.
It's called the Black Flap remake.
Say Black Flag 10 times fast.
Anyway,
I don't want
yeah.
to get demonetized.
No,
I
I'm
don't want
the
to get
party-
demonetized.
Yeah. Because he's white.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Anywho,
Anyways, on to game impressions. If Hakama, you got anything else to geek about your Assassin's Creed?
I love Assassin's Creed, and everyone should play Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
See, I don't get on Conrad
Uh,
when he says I love Assassin's Creed, even though I think it's not. I think it's a mid series. But Overwatch, I'll get on him every time on that.
Overwatch is
All right. Anyways, game impressions. Start us off.
um, Let's see.
That's a
What
great
have I been
start.
playing? What have I been playing lately? The last game I've been playing is Unicorn Overlord. And that's been a blast. That was made by
You mean that's been an overload?
that game is made by
Overlord.
Vanillaware. They're the same people who made Dragon's Crown, which is a pretty popular PS3 game. Way back when.
Because there's
It's pretty.
thick women. Thick.
Yeah, they have some fan service in there, and yeah, Unicorn Overlord is great. It's you get units, so you can get 5 people to a squad, and the way it works is you get into a battle, and when your unit collides with another unit, you see your percentage of. Jesus Christ! Hold on, I gotta take this call.
All right.
You guys.
Comrade, go ahead. Explain what you've been playing and in detail. You said slow.
So basically, I've been mostly playing little things like Apex and things like that. I haven't played too much of single player games right now. We did the Marathon Server Slam. Honestly, like
So
I
explain.
Explain. What would you like me to
What
explain, Sub?
did you last do this? You talked about your marathon run? No? Yes or no?
I don't remember. I think that we talked about it originally the week before, didn't we? I mean, I played a little bit more of it, like I said, since the Wood talked about it. Like I said,
it was over
Marathon
the
is one of those-
weekend. That's right. It was.
Yeah.
Over Thursday to
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, you and I played a little bit over the weekend as well. So I mean, like I said, I enjoy Marathon. Marathon is a fun game. It's very different than a lot of the other hero shooters in the sense that literally.
Yes, you are speaking correct, because most people want it to be like, what's that game called? Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders, yes.
But they're all different. They're all different.
They're all different, but I think the problem is, like I said, it is the fact that it is just another hero shooter, not a hero shooter, another the same game. It's still an extraction shooter. It just has different elements to it, but it still is at its core an extraction shooter, and a lot of people are just tired of them, I think, or like you said, don't want to try new things, and just love to shit on Marathon and love to shit on Bungie. But like I said, at its core, it's a very fun game. The bots, and I'm sure everyone has heard this, the bots are fucking harder than the players. Like, the bots are more of a problem than the actual players that play this game. Like, the bots are hard. And you were saying, like, they actually nerfed them in the full release. Is what you were telling me.
I don't know if I could talk about that. But from what I know, they were hard earlier, and they were complaining, so they had to bring out a patch to make them weaker. But I think Bungie is just to think. I think they did that on purpose, because they want the bots to be hard, because usually bots and extraction shooters are not very difficult.
They're just an obstacle to overcome. Usually, the
Yeah.
players
So
are usually the actual problem, but the bots in this game are a hell of a more problem. But like I said, you do have more tools to use them because you got the hero abilities, but also, like I said, I've made my sentiment clear that I'm not a huge fan of
they just hurt. They just hurt, and that's what I like about it. They hurt. I want them to be a danger, because if you get into, you know how you get jumped in extraction shooters, usually you get jumped and shit, and the enemies don't do that much damage, but these robots do. So they'll be like, oh, we'll kill the easy bot characters, and then we'll just loot your body.
So
but if the bots come around, they will fucking fuck them up.
Yeah, it's more, you gotta be more cautious in Marathon than you do in Arc Raiders. In Arc Raiders, you can sprint into a building, and you're like, yeah, you know what? There will be obstacles in here, but it's nothing that I can't overcome. Nothing that's worse than the player outside. if in Marathon, if you sprint into a building, you might literally get walked up by just a random bot that happens to be around the corner. He'll just it's more of a risk basically, and I do like that. It's more of that more of that feel of what an extraction shooter I feel like should be. But
All right, so you played that. So what about Apex? What is new in Apex that you haven't played in a while? So what is the new characters that you like? What is the new weapons or map? I don't know. You
really,
don't like.
honestly,
You could say don't like to.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I mean, Luke and I have been enjoying. Like I said, we've recently got back to enough level and enough games to play to get back into ranked. So we just played ranked for the first time, and just last night actually we were playing ranked. It's like I said, it's a fun experience. Like I enjoy this. Apex is just a solid game. Like the movement, and the gunplay is very solid. I enjoy it a lot. Like I said, right now I'm a little bit short of unlocking the new characters, but they're doing a cool event where they're letting you like try out new heroes.
What do you think of the Gundam
And if you
crossover?
the Gundam crossover, yeah, I saw that. They're actually pretty cool. They're good skins. I was not a crossover that I was expecting to come out of Apex, but hell yeah, like they're good. They're nice. They're fucking nice looking skins. I know Half loves fucking Gundam. If he was here, he'd probably want to try to look at them, check them out.
He likes Apex
Maybe
too.
he'll get. I would say he'll start playing Apex with me and Luke now because of the Gundam skins.
They do look cool
I think they look pretty decent. Yeah.
compared to what? Overwatch? Didn't Overwatch have Gundam?
Yeah, but it's also a different art style.
Doesn't matter.
So
I want to know which one's better.
I like the Overwatch ones better.
Alright, shut your ass up. Anyways, continue. What else on the map that you... Is it the same map you've been playing before?
They're the same maps. I don't think they've made a new map yet. They kind of changed their map up a little bit, as in they like do some environmental things on it. But I think they have the same maps. There is a new hero the most recent. Well, to me, maybe he's been out for a while, but he's a new tracker hero that I was playing because it's during that event he's free to sample. He's got like some as his ability, he's got like a cool bow sniper kind of thing, and he's like got a lot of tracker abilities basically. Basically think like a Hanzo kind of character, from Overwatch, so he's cool. He's definitely not my kind of playstyle. I'm more of the my favorite character is more the assault type of characters. I like to do that, or I really like Catalyst in Apex. She's the one that throws up the goop wall that really is impactful.
I know nothing about that, but continue. But the
Yeah,
people who
like I said, she's one of my favorite characters to play. I really enjoy her abilities and her playstyle. It's more like a very she's a controller, so basically she can really impact the battlefield, like split player teams, or be defensive if she needs to. I enjoy her playstyle.
Okay. Any other games? Overwatch? How's that going?
Great. Overwatch is back.
Shut the fuck up.
I've been having a lot of fun playing. Honestly, I really enjoy the stadium mode in Overwatch. I've been playing a lot of that.
Is there a
by
rank mode?
myself. There is a ranked stadium mode. Yes, I have played that a little bit. Luke and I have been, like I said, playing a lot of the ranked, actual ranked mode, not stadium. So we've had mixed results. We've had a couple days where we got absolutely shit on, but the last couple of days we've been actually popping off. So we had a lot of fun. Like I said, it's good. How about yourself, Sob? What are your game impressions while Half is in the middle of?
Yeah. So obviously I played HighGuard and I got my platinum. That was my goal because you know me, I want to try new multiplayer games because single player games, if I keep playing multiplayer games, it's a ring around the rosy and I just get into this like zombie run and I have to detox myself. That's why I play single player games. I like to listen to new stories. But yeah, be high guard. So I opened myself up for another multiplayer game. I'm currently playing Predecessor to get a handle of the current patch, and I enjoy it. And I'm trying to reach Plat 2 again. However, I still want to take a break from Pred if I can, because I do want to play Deadlock because I got that recent access. I don't think it's MOBA per se. I'm a firm mindset. Once I learned that headshots do more damage, is that it's majority of shooter. Like I said to Half yesterday, I think if there was a room, there was a lot of seats, and it had to be filled with people who have shirts on, I would like half of the room would be taken up by people I tell to sit down that wear the shirt shooter. So shooter would take, to me, that's what it is. And MOBA is the little part of it because it has movement like a shooter. Because I read this article yesterday or with Half, and they think it's a new genre or it's trying to do a new thing. But I was like, no, it's a shooter. It's a shooter. Sorry, I'm not gonna take this whole changing up MOBAs. Because Predecessor and Smite don't do that, and other third-person MOBAs that there are some they don't have more headshot that I remember. I could be wrong, but they're probably gone by now. I still want to give that time. I want to give Helldivers time. I don't know when. That's another one that I just don't know when. What's another game, Comrade? Marathon. I am very interested in buying Marathon. Very much so. I enjoy the fucking shooting. I enjoy the artwork. I like how bots are hard. That's one. Those are the three big things that might pull me to buying that game right now. Not now, because it's just another extraction shooter, and Comrade knows my dislike for extraction shooters is that you can make the gameplay different, right? But the whole I gotta build this, collect these items, and bring it back with me to enhance whatever, right? Your kit. It's the same loop for every one of them. So there's no change. That part of the aspect, I think I will get more interested once that other part of the aspect changes. But the reason why I would play Marathon is that gunplay. I like how PvP is very nice in that game compared to most. I thought I would have a problem with it being a hero shooter, but I do like the abilities. So that's... I've been playing Resistance 3. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. How do I do this? Bam. So on my channel, I was streaming it. I was playing it. God, I was having a hard time. Comrade knows, and I've been complaining to everybody, and this is a known issue.
Struggling, yeah.
That Resistance has, back then, part 2 and 3 had very bad discs. Don't ask me why. Nobody it's just well known that those some of the worst PS3 discs you can get. You can get one that wasn't pressed very well. Man, it's a whole like fucking gamble. Me, I was having an issue, and actually, I could bring it up right now. Showing it on the screen. Let's go here. What was it, Comrade? Was it the first one, right? Where I was like, I froze. Yeah, so
there was one where literally you started the stream and just had a black screen for like 10 minutes and you couldn't figure out why.
Yeah,
then you ended the stream.
I started it here and it froze right here. It froze for all these minutes. It was a while. I didn't turn it off yet. I ended the stream. Then the game started playing. And it was more than 10 minutes, probably 8 to 10 minutes. So I streamed it again. I said, okay. So I started it here. And I kept going, blah, 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 and all that. And then, Comrade, did I ever... Oh, no, this wasn't it. It was here. Where it freaking... What the hell? How do I get rid of this stuff? Oh, okay. Here, on the screen you can
Gabe absolutely hates you. Is honestly what this is.
the game lost sound, lost all this, and I was wondering, oh no, is the because it's old, it reads from the disc instead of just installing fully. So these are back then. So I thought, okay, so the disc may be loading. My disc is in scratch, so you know. And here, going on the elevator, made no sound. Then here comes the monster. He's supposed to be talking. His lips are supposed to be moving. You see in his head, it's nodding. His hands are moving. He's talking. And boom. Okay, here we go. Boom. White. Nothing but white. I think this is when Comrade came in. The low.
Where was the one where?
the level's
Where was
supposed to
the one where
load.
you just? Where
Right
you
here.
show the clip where you
am.
was that when you just fell through the floor. That
Right
was
here.
funny.
You could hear me say shit, and then I fell through the floor. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
and that's where it froze and went to a black screen, like you said. Turns out, seems you got to install the game in a way, and I finally fucking did, and I got the game to work. It was corrupted the data, but eventually I continued playing. It was frustrating, but I will say, after beating Resistance 3 for the first time, going through the Resistance series, I beat 1 and 2 before. Playing it again, when I was playing the first one, I found it good. It was a good foundation, a whole war. The character was very dry and standard, really boring, but I think they were more of the idea of the world, and the character is just like a blank slate for you. The second one was okay. I liked it when I first played it. I enjoyed it, but after replaying it, it is the Fast and Furious, the junk food of the series, where a lot of action, not a lot of good story to connect. Yes, you had Nathan Hale, who eventually turned out that's what the character was, but he wasn't very deep. I enjoyed it, but I still think it's the last one. I would put it in third place. Second place would go Fall of Man. I still like that. I still like how dark it is. I still like the concept of it. It's the beginning, the foundation, and I like it. 3 is technically the best one. So basically, it went all action, no story. The second one. The first one was the foundation. It realized what it wanted to be, but not fully. No characters in both, really heavy. However, the third one is more character driven. Still has the world. That's where all ideas came together, and it did very, very well. It's the shortest one, but my God, the graphics are good. The enemies are awesome. The character's great. Everything is good. I had such a good time with this game. It's the best in the series. And Reshi said that I was wrong. He thinks that second one is best, but I don't think. See, I get his perception because he played it long ago, but I replayed it, Comrade, right? I'm replaying these games, and I got a new view on it. You know what I mean? How your opinion changes when you replay something over time. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah, so like I said, I get through all this shit. It was just so fun. If you can't get
You're having a lot of fun, basically.
if you can't get the main game like officially through hardware, that's fine. If you can find playing it on PC, I won't hold you. I won't say, oh,
One of the
God,
few
you
times where
down.
Sob doesn't mind playing a game on PC, because this game is very hard to actually make work.
Well,
in its
make
native
work,
way.
but it's just PS3 is going to become a rarity. You know what I mean? So